Imagine boarding a ship in the middle of the ocean. The sails are raised, the cargo is secured, food sits untouched on the table, and yet not a single human being is on board. No bodies, no blood, no signs of a struggle, only silence. This is one of the oldest and most disturbing maritime mysteries ever recorded. This is Scary Stories Files. In November of 1872, a merchant ship known as the Mary Celeste departed from New York Harbor, bound for Genoa, Italy. She was not experimental. She was not damaged. She was not poorly constructed. The ship had recently passed inspection and was considered reliable and safe. Her captain was Benjamin Briggs, an experienced sailor known for being cautious, methodical, and deeply religious. He trusted this voyage so completely that he brought his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter aboard with him. This was supposed to be a routine crossing of the Atlantic Ocean. The Mary Celeste carried more than 17 barrels of industrial alcohol, along with enough food, water, and supplies to last the crew for several months. Captain Briggs kept detailed logs, carefully recording weather conditions and daily progress. For weeks, the journey appeared calm. No storms were reported. No distress signals were sent. No warnings were issued. And then the ship vanished. On December 5, 1872, another vessel spotted something unusual drifting in the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores. From a distance, the ship appeared perfectly normal. Her sails were still raised. She was not taking on water. She was not damaged. But no one responded to signals. When a boarding crew climbed onto the deck, they were met with something deeply unsettling. The ship was completely empty. The crew's personal belongings were still there. Boots, pipes, and clothing lay undisturbed. 6 months' worth of food and fresh water remained untouched. The galley was clean. The cargo was secure. The captain's cabin showed no signs of panic. The ship's logbook ended abruptly. The final entry described calm seas and steady progress. The only thing missing was the lifeboat. No bodies were ever found. No wreckage was recovered. No trace of the crew, the captain, his wife, or their child was ever discovered. The Mary Celeste was fully capable of completing the voyage on her own. So why would an experienced captain abandon his ship, especially with his family aboard? Investigators searched for explanations. Several barrels of alcohol had leaked, releasing fumes into the cargo hold. One theory suggests Captain Briggs feared a possible explosion. Perhaps he ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, intending to stay close until the danger passed. But this theory raises disturbing questions. Why abandon the ship completely? Why leave navigational instruments behind? Why cut the lifeboat loose instead of keeping it tethered? And why do it all during calm weather? Another theory suggests the alcohol fumes caused hallucinations. Prolonged exposure can lead to confusion, paranoia, and panic. Fear does not require logic. It's possible the crew believed the ship was moments from destruction, even if it wasn't. Some believe the captain misjudged the distance to land. Others suggest a sudden wave or water spout convinced them the ship was doomed. But no theory explains everything. There were no signs of violence, no damage to the hull, no evidence of a struggle, and no reason clear enough to explain why everyone disappeared. Over time, darker ideas began to circulate. Some sailors whispered that the ship was followed, that something unseen drove the crew away, that the ocean itself demanded a price. There is no proof of this, but the unease remains. The Mary Celeste was eventually brought to port and sold, yet no crew wanted to sail her. Those who did reported an overwhelming sense of dread. They described constant tension, the feeling of being watched, the sense that the ship was never truly empty. Years later, the Mary Celeste was deliberately destroyed. She was run aground and burned, as if someone wanted the story to end. But mysteries like this do not disappear. To this day, no one knows what happened to Captain Briggs, his wife, his daughter, or the rest of the crew. Only the ocean knows, and the ocean does not give answers. Somewhere beneath the waves, the truth may still exist. Or perhaps it vanished the moment the lifeboat drifted away. All that remains is an empty ship, a missing crew, and a silence that has lasted more than a century. If this story unsettled you, tell us what you think happened in the comments. Like the video if you enjoy real historical horror. Share it with someone who loves true mysteries. And subscribe to Scary Stories Files. Because some stories don't end. They simply drift into darkness.